So the TikTok ban just started today. Will it come back? I don't know. But whether it does come back or whether it doesn't, there's a really important lesson to be learned here for influencers. And something that I learned back in 2023, this reminds me of it again, and it's going to hit a lot of you the exact same way. I'm going to get into what that is. I just wanted to give a few thoughts on the big lesson that I learned whenever I lost something like this back in 2023 and my big takeaway from that. So hopefully it'll help some of you either coming out of this, or even if you weren't part of the TikTok thing, it's a relevant story that everybody needs to heed, because there is an extremely important lesson, especially if you are an influencer, in regards to this. If you don't know, my name is Rob. I've been in the Amazon influencer program for over a year and a half here, sharing tips, tricks, and advice. These are things that I have learned along the way, both good and bad, to hopefully help you make more money in the program. So if that sounds good to you, like it's in your wheelhouse, consider hitting the subscribe button. And if you get halfway through this video and you find that I am providing some sort of value, entertainment, or romantic feelings of any sort, feel free to also hit the like button. I do like likes. I think that I am your Amazon influencer guy. I just saw my beard's going kind of crazy. So the TikTok ban happened. My phone's now not working. I thought it was like really cool because my kid was like, hey, it's not working, but mine was still working. I know that stuff rolls out, but for a little bit I felt special until I saw somebody else say they still had it whenever I did. And then I was just like, it's not fair. The thing whenever you're an influencer and you're working on any of these platforms, whether it's TikTok or whether it's Amazon, whether it's, for me in 2023, it was Google. You're always playing in somebody else's playground, right? So in 2023, a year prior, I had started blogging. I had never blogged before. In fact, it was really kind of like my first foray into doing anything online and like striving to make money online. And it started to do really well. I started to make $4,000, $5,000 a month on my blog, sending traffic to Amazon through affiliate sales, and also getting paid for just having traffic. And it came to a screeching halt in September of 2023 when Google released what they call the helpful content update, where they changed a bunch of stuff in the search rankings. And that's how I got my traffic. Was I was really good at writing articles in such a way where Google would pick them up and typically rank them pretty high. So if you search for something like best workout hat, I was probably the top person for that. And there's decent amount of people looking for that per month. So I was making really good money, but they changed that so that small publishers like myself, basically it wasn't a fair playing ground anymore. And all of a sudden the Forbes and the Reddits and those things took all of those top spots, and all of us got relegated to like basically no man's land. And so I lost pretty much all of that traffic within the blink of an eye. I went from $5,000 a month. I think right now I'm probably making $200 a month on that. And as frustrating as it was, because it was my first time that I really tried to lean into anything online, it was a big lesson learned for me that unless I own the thing that controls whatever it is I'm relying on, in that case Google, which I don't, Google, I was relying on it to send me traffic. If you're relying on some other platform to keep your business model afloat, then you're always going to be at risk of something happening with that platform. Certainly not as drastic as the TikTok, but similar outcome, whether it's a platform getting removed, a platform changing its rules, the platform just doing something drastic that can impact you. You're always, whenever that's on the table, you're always at the mercy of doing that. They owe you nothing, and their job, TikTok, this is kind of different because of the situation, but like Google, for example, Google owed me nothing, right? They don't know who I am. Their job is to make as much money for Google as possible, and for whatever reason, they felt like that was the best thing for them to do. Whenever this stuff happens, it's nothing personal. It's just they're doing whatever it is that has to happen. So I just wanted to kind of jump on here and remind people that the storefronts that you've built, the videos that you've made, could someday mean absolutely nothing to Amazon, and they decided to pull the plug on it, and that's just what it is. It's not that that's going to be wonderful, but that's just going to be what it is, and that's going to have to be okay, and we have to move on. It's also why it's important to continue to find avenues to diversify what it is that you're doing, to find new things to say yes to, right? You say yes to Amazon Influencer. For me, I said yes to blogs first, and then YouTube technically, and then blogs, and then Amazon Influencer came along and different things. So try to stay open to different things, but keep that in mind. Whatever I see people say things like, hey, I'm considering going full-time, or what do I got to do to go full-time with this one thing? My thoughts just always like, I don't know if that's a great idea, because if you're at the mercy of that one thing and they decide that you're no longer relevant, they could even just kick you off the platform. They could keep going. Amazon influencer program could kick all of us off and still keep going with other influencers, right? There's a lot of different things that can happen. And I realize that with a regular job, similar things can happen, right? You can be at a company for 20 years and then they end up firing you or whatever the thing is. But it's always on the table whenever you're an influencer. And so don't put all your eggs in one basket. Always be aware what's going on. And just kind of keep your heads about you. I feel bad. I was only a TikToker for social purposes. I never got into having a shop. I tried early on and I just couldn't quite get there. Oddly enough, I ended up getting the followers towards the end to get it. But I hate it for those of you that even for the few days that are going to miss out on those sales, and if it doesn't come back, what that means for you guys. So I have hopes for all of you that the best thing ends up happening for everybody really involved. But just want to kind of hop on and just give a few thoughts on being aware of remembering whose house it is that you're in whenever you're uploading videos to Amazon, right? Or if you're writing a blog, or if you're making videos for YouTube. Unless you control the thing that provides your business momentum, provides it money, then you are always at the mercy. It's also maybe a good thing too of like why it's important to try to be, and this is something I need to really kind of focus on, of creating your own entity that doesn't rely on those things as much, like creating a newsletter, right? For example, an email list, something that it's yours, so you still have a pathway in case something gets shut down like this. So we'll see what happens over the next couple of days. Very interesting times that we are in. I got a couple more videos coming out this week for the Amazon Influencer Program. Working on some really exciting stuff over here. So thanks y'all so much. Hang in there. If this is negatively affecting you, like I said, for me, I just watch TikTok and like watching videos of people fall down slowly. It's like my thing, like where they should be able to stop themselves and they didn't. I don't know if Instagram can do that for me. So we'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.